What's going on, all you Marvel fans? Unpredictable 60 here, bringing you guys my review on the epic movie that was and is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It was very good. I enjoyed it much more than the first one. The first one was pretty good too, but I'm just saying this one was even better than the first, and it was just something to see. Oh my goodness. We got to see yet again Chris Pratt being just as epic as ever, and we got to see the rest of the crew alongside him, Drax, and of course, I want to say Rocket and Groot and Gamora, all the great people that we all know and love, were very, very good in this movie, just as they were in the first one. I think that the chemistry between Chris Pratt and, I know his name is Star-Lord, but I want to call him Chris Pratt. I want to go ahead and say that their relationship, the chemistry between him and Rocket, was pretty funny. They went back and forth pretty much throughout the entire movie. They were just on different pages the whole time, trying to see who was better than the other. And I just thought that was a very comedic way to make them two interact with each other. The way they presented it, it was really fun. It's really cool. It was really a hilarious movie. We even got to see Baby Groot in action for a little bit, and you know, he did his thing. And of course, him being a baby, he doesn't really understand too much about what they were saying to him. But of course, at the end of the movie, we got to see teenage Groot, so we got to see all stages of a Groot so far. So it's been pretty funny getting to see him grow up. It's very cool concept, and I really like that they did that. I'm pretty sure in the next video, the next movie, he'll be like back to an adult like how he was in the very first one. Now, I have to say that if anyone hasn't seen this movie, it's a very good movie to go watch. You could definitely take friends and family to go see this if you guys are part of the Marvel Universe. Me personally, I prefer the Marvel Universe over the DC Universe because DC to me is just really dark and slow paced and kind of boring in my opinion. But if you guys prefer Marvel or DC, you know, if you prefer DC, I'm not really trying to hate on you or anything like that, but I just can't be into it. Like Batman, I can't get into it. I can't get into Superman. It's just, that kind of thing is just not for me. I've tried and I didn't like Batman, and it's just, I know that probably sounds really taboo for some of you guys, but I just can't get into it. I want to say The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises or something, whichever one had Bane in it. I didn't like that one. I was just, it just wasn't a good movie for me. And with Superman, I just know that I probably wouldn't be able to get into that. I don't know. Superman to me just doesn't seem like a very fair hero, because it seems like he gets his energy from the sun, for one. He's a god, basically, because nothing hurts him besides a fucking rock. And then you got, which is pretty funny actually, but you got just the fact that he basically, people make him seem like he's unstoppable, and yet he causes so much destruction as a hero. What hero goes through cities destroying them? Now I know the Marvel characters have done their fair share of city destruction, but I mean, they do it for the right cause. And it seems like Superman has no concern as to where he fights someone. It's always, let's fight exactly where we are. You know, who cares if there's people around? I don't really give two shits is how he acts like. So it's pretty much like something like, you know, he doesn't give a shit about his own surroundings. He just jeopardizes other people's lives. But back to the main concept here, main story here. When it comes to Guardians of the Galaxy, I really did think this was a great movie. All the actors were great. I love Rocket in this one. He was pretty funny, made a lot of funny jokes. I love Groot in this one. Actually, Baby Groot was pretty hilarious too. And, you know, it was just good to see. And, yeah, you know, of course, at the end of this movie, they still didn't say, like, for sure, you know, they didn't show, like, anybody really coming to talk to these people. And that's one of the main things I cannot wait to see. It's just, I really wanted to see, like, Iron Man talking to Chris, you know, maybe something like that. You know, Star-Lord, he'd be like, hey, well, you know, we need your help. We're about to go, you know, deal with someone, Thanos, and we're going to need some help. But I'm guessing Thanos is just going to make his own move, you know, and then that's what's going to make, that'll be what makes them all collide and come in the same universe. But, of course, they're already in the same universe, but it just, actually, like, we see them on the same camera, you know, so I'm trying to say, really, when I say I want to see them interact more, it's just more interesting whenever, you know, you see one group of people doing a really cool thing, and then you see another group of people doing another cool thing, and they bring both of those groups together to do one epic thing, and that's just one thing I cannot wait to see. I thought that we would at least get to see some snippet of that, but I guess not. So that was kind of a disappointment to me. But other than that, overall, the movie, I would give it basically a 10 out of 10. It was really good, like I said, really fun to watch, and I really did enjoy everything that happened. Of course, Chris Pratt found out that his dad, I don't know if that was actually his dad. I'm still kind of like, I'm not too sure, just because he kind of came out of nowhere and was like, I'm your dad. And then they realized that guy goes around telling random people that he thinks has potential, can be like, hey, I'm your dad, you know. So I'm not sure if he's Chris Pratt's dad or not. I'm not really too sure if he's connected with Star-Lord or not, but he basically made it seem like he was. And, you know, they even said at the end, Chris Pratt's friend, the blue guy, I can't remember his name, but he said that, you know, he might have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy. So it was like, you know, I guess right there was trying to tell you, like, that was his actual dad. It was just, he's not a good man. And yeah, basically it was just pretty much a big shocker, really, that we even found this dude's dad. Star-Lord's dad was in this movie, and we found out the origins of how his mom died and how she got the tumor. His dad placed it in her head, and Star-Lord was just upset about that, and he was like, I'm not taking that shit. You killed my mom, so I'm about to kill you, or you're gonna die on this planet. Either one's gonna work. You're gonna have to deal with it, because you don't kill my mom, is basically how he felt. So he was pretty upset about that. So I understand Chris Pratt's pain, you know, just fully. And I do know that I read a article before, and it said something about how Chris Pratt, I can't remember if it was his actual dad or mom, but one of them actually did suffer from some type of cancer, and I do believe it was his dad, if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe it was his dad. And it was pretty interesting because, you know, he actually used that and applied his feelings about that to the movie, which I found that very interesting. So it probably made him a lot easier to deal with this in the movie, or get in that kind of mindset, because this was a real personal connection to someone, so it really related to each other. So that's probably why that to him was very easy to manipulate, that kind of emotion. So I think that was very interesting, though, that they did that to him. At the same time, it's kind of messed up, though, because, you know, he kind of has to think about something that maybe he doesn't even want to think about, or something he doesn't even want to talk about. So, because I remember I also read that they asked him something about that, his actual, you know, personal life, about how they passed away. Chris didn't want to answer. So basically, I'm not really going to talk about that. And I can understand, you know, it's probably a touchy subject for him. He doesn't really want to get all, you know, choked up and start crying during an interview or whatnot. So he just says, you know what, I'm not really going to touch base on that, which I can respect him for that, you know. Can't really force a guy to talk about something that he's very sensitive about. So I wouldn't pressure him to do something he won't want to do. So, but like I said, overall this movie was very good. And I think I'm going to wrap things up here. So thank you all for watching this video. If you all have enjoyed this video, then please go ahead and click the bell symbol to get notified about all the latest videos that will be coming your way. There'll be a lot more reviews, whether it be movies, games, weapons in a game, or whatever it is. So just go ahead and hit that bell button just to make sure you guys get all the latest notifications. And you guys go ahead and hit a like and share the video for those of you who actually enjoyed this video and also want to share it to your friends so they can see my review. And, you know, go ahead and get them to comment down below in the comment section, as well as yourself, and we can have a good old discussion about this movie. Even if you saw it, let's go ahead and talk about it. Go ahead and leave what you thought about the movie down below. Let me also know if you guys think DC is better than Marvel, or Marvel is better than DC, because with Marvel, I think they're better than DC, but that's just my opinion. Until next time, guys, this has been your broadcast. Unpredictable is out.